Like to call the order of the Plan Commission meeting for January 4th, 2022. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Technology, I was looking at the minutes, not the agenda. So, attendance roll call.
Commissioner Groff. Here. Commissioner Oliver. Alderman Madden.
Here.
Commissioner Gazano.
Here.
Commissioner Buckmaster.
Here.
Commissioner Bartlett.
Here.
Mayor Petfolsky.
Present.
Planner Chesbitowski.
Here.
We have a quorum. Thank you. Statement of public notice.
The agenda was posted and distributed to all news media requesting notification in accordance with the open meeting laws on Wednesday, December 29th.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes from December 7th.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Any discussion or changes? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It passes unanimously. Moving on to consent business. There is no consent business. Old business, resolution PC 056-2021 is kind of there as a holder. Any updates on that?
No, he has some time yet for the court.
Thank you. New business for consideration, resolution PC 001-2022, recommendation to the Common Council to amend the zoning map and 2020 comprehensive plan of the city of Muskego for the Glen at Park Highland development for the properties located in the northeast and southeast quarter of Section 4, tax key numbers 2173.995, 2173.996.001, and 2173.995.001.
I'll second.
Adam.
Thank you, Mayor. So this rezoning petition was submitted for the 3 parcels that were noted, which are located on the north side of Martin Drive. To give you perspective, this is just west of the Kirkland Crossing rezoning, which was granted earlier this year, or last year, I should say now, late last year, as well as it's kind of just located southeast of Park Arthur. So the requested rezoning is similar to the Kirkland Crossing rezoning as far as it's going to a planned development district based upon the RS2 zoning. Current zoning of the property is M1 light industrial and RSE suburban estate district. The industrial that was there was because of the old Nike control site and then eventual Reynolds machine shop that was there. So the legacy of this site is kind of what gave this odd little industrial site sitting in the middle of a very residential predominant area of the city. So first and foremost, the rezoning seems appropriate because of that alone. You know, looking at our future land use plans and highest and best uses, it seems to make sense to have residential here versus industrial in an area that it's so predominantly residential. Like I mentioned, as part of this, they actually, and I misspoke for a second, there is a comprehensive plan amendment as part of this, not because of the industrial, it's because of a change from low density to medium density in the land use plan. So that's part of this request along with that rezoning. That is something that staff was already going to be suggesting as part of our forthcoming 2035 comp plan update, as we realize this area is serviceable with city municipal sewer by gravity, which makes density a lot more practical financially and feasible in this area. As part of this development, the proposal is really currently one axis off of Martin Drive, which then stems into 2 cul-de-sacs coming up off on the property. The total combined site on the area to be zoned is about 21.3 acres or so. They're proposing 30 lots, which leads us to a density of about 1.41 units per acre, which is in that medium density land use allowance. It's very similar, like I said, number of lots when you look at the lot size and stuff to the neighboring rezoning that was granted very recently. As far as the planned development zoning itself goes, they are basing on, as I said, on the RS2 base zoning district. As part of that, they're not looking for any lot size reductions. They are keeping the 20,000 square foot minimum that's suggested with the RS2. They are looking for a reduction of lot width, which should normally be 110 feet, and they're looking to go 90 foot average width. And as far as the setbacks and offsets, they are looking at reducing front setback from 40 to 30. This one side from 15 to 12 and a half, the other sides from 20 to 12 and a half, and then the rear increasing it from 20 to 25 feet. Very similar to what was approved with the adjacent zoning once again. As far as open space goes, typically the RS2 requires 15,000 square feet open space or 75% of the lot area. As part of the planned development, they are looking to change a flat open space requirement to 70%. And they are not asking for any kind of density bonus as part of the planned development zoning. As we mentioned, sewerability kind of makes this area more palatable for this density that's being proposed. And as part of this development and or the adjacent kind of both, you could say water does need to be extended up to this property. So that is one contingency on a project like this, is public water being available. There was a public hearing in front of the Common Council on December 14th. There were 3 people that spoke. One was a developer, 2 others. One person just mentioned some concerns about traffic on Martin and is in favor of sidewalks or trails in the new area in the development. And someone else spoke that lives across the bay of the lake, and their concern was more so stormwater related. And things that we can ensure is that grading and runoff and stormwater will be handled by the design engineers, and the water should leave the site slower and cleaner than it did before. And any kind of improvements that would be needed would have to be worked out through the design process as it relates to roadways and such. But staff is recommending approval of the rezoning and land use amendment.
Questions, comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you. Moving on to resolution PC 002-2022, approval of an additional accessory structure located at South 71 West 13203 Test Corners Drive, tax key number 2206.999.002.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
Thank you, Mayor. This is in front of you for a couple of reasons tonight. Number one, it's an additional building on the property. As you know, per some policy discussions and changes, you're basically allowed 3 outbuildings on a property, 2 garden sheds and 1 outbuilding, or vice versa. This would actually be a 6th building on the property. But to put that in perspective, it's on a property that's over 70 acres in size. So definitely nowhere near the limit of where they would max out. The total size of all accessory structures with the new building are just over 13,000 square feet on this property, and they're allowed around 61,000 square feet. So well under the limit that they're allowed. It's just an additional building. It's going to be used for personal purposes, including some animal usage. There was a plan that's part of it relating to some animals that the owner does want to have on the property. So there's the flooring will have a mix of concrete and some gravel areas, as our code allows gravel when there's animals involved. As far as colors go, the colors, they are asking for different colors than that would match the principal dwelling, but the principal dwelling is a long home, so matching is not too conventional. And given the remote location of this property and the large scale of it and no one being able to see it, I don't believe that's a concern at all. That's the intention of this part of the ordinance. And then it's steel, so it's between steel, the multiple buildings, and the colors are why it's in front of the Plan Commission, but staff is recommending approval given its location.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? That passes unanimously. Moving on to resolution PC 003-2022, approval of a building site and operation plan for Letterhead Press LLC located at South 64 West 15527 Commerce Center Parkway, tax key number 2166.997.008.
I'll second.
Adam?
Thank you, Mayor. So this building site operation plan is really a really minor one. In fact, they're not doing any outdoor or exterior changes, which warrant Plan Commission review. As part of the B3 zoning, the Business Park District has provisions that talk about certain uses requiring Plan Commission review just to be sure they're not problematic for the area, which we don't believe this is. And it specifically talks about facilities utilizing paper containers, patterns, and photocopying. Here specifically, more so the paper containers and stuff are a big part of this business. The business is currently located, Letterhead Press, in New Berlin. Their main facility is going to remain there, but they need another satellite location for a handful of uses, including some assembly of these packaging and boxes that they handle, as well as storage for some incoming and outgoing product. So you're going to see indoor stuff, minimal deliveries. There's 1 or 2 small box trucks, I believe the company says that they have, that could float between their multiple locations. They're expecting that they could have up to 25 employees here at this facility with typical Monday through Friday hours, but they would be allowed to work outside those if needed. Like I said, nothing unique or weird about this use at all, and as such, staff is definitely recommending approval.
Questions or comments?
Why is it that it's coming in front of us?
The ordinance, the B3 ordinance, just lists certain uses that says if you're doing one of these uses, the Plan Commission should just have oversight on it. Some of these uses I would agree in questioning. I don't know why they're in there. The mayor and I talked about this because they're very passive uses, including the uses here. But the ordinance says that, so we have to follow it. It is something we could
That's all right.
look to remove in the future, as some of the uses don't happen a lot. But to be honest, there's not a lot of space left in this area that this probably won't come up much more anyway.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Resolution PC 004-2022, approval of a building site and operation plan amendment for Kohl's Inc. located at South 68 West 15388 Janesville Road, tax key number 2167.995.008.
Second.
Discussion?
So Kohl's Department Store is partnered with Sephora. It's a cosmetics company, and a lot of their stores are having Sephora's move into them or part of the stores, get creative with their retailing. And this is, Muskego store is one of the stores where they're looking to implement this change. So the change is real simple. It's predominantly interior workings of the store. But what they want to do on the right side as you're facing in front of the store, or the eastern entryway, just on the immediate entryway, they kind of want to do some black and white striping, which is kind of the Sephora brand trademark. There are some of these happening throughout the area, so we're not the only store in the state or the country for that matter that are getting these features. As part of this is in the Moreland Quarter South Design Guide, which typically encourages colors more like grays, greens, browns, burgundies, tans. So, at first glance, you'd say, well, black and white don't really meet that. But one of the things that we thought was here is they're not painting the whole store this color. It's obviously meant to be an accent feature to kind of just show, bring a little attention to that one brand. They're only doing it at the one door. It almost would be like another storefront. You could almost look at it as, with minimal impact to the full building. And as such, staff didn't think that would be an issue and didn't really think it was in contrast to the design guide because they're not looking at repainting the whole building a striped color. It's really just to accent that one doorway.
Questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Miscellaneous business, have none. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned at 6:15. Thank you, everyone.